Hello everyone, this is Richard Eaton, your instructor for CTEC 134 Database Administration. This video is going to be the fourth and last video regarding core relational database management concepts and terms. What I want to do is show you how to get a graphical representation of the 5 tables that we have in the TAL database. And when you see that graphically, I think it will make a whole lot more sense to you. And so I'm going to show you how to do it. I already have the TAL distributors database expanded, and I'm going to right-click on Database Diagrams and say New Database Diagram. The very first time you do this, you're going to get a message that says this database does not have one or more of the support objects required. Do you want to create them? And just say yes. Now I'm going to right click on it again. Oh, didn't need to. I'm sorry, you didn't need to right click on it again. It just popped up automatically. And what it's doing here in this dialog box is it's showing me all the tables in the TAL distributors database. And I want to show all of them graphically. I can put them out here one at a time by just clicking on them or dragging and dropping them. I could select all of them at once by holding the Shift key down and selecting all the tables. And I think that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm just going to click Add. And I'm going to close that screen. Now, here are my 5 tables, and they're really not organized in a way I think that makes it as clear as it could be. What I would really like to do is show them kind of going all in horizontally. And I would like to start with the rep table and the customer table. And then my third one over, I would like to be orders followed by order line and item. And we do that just by grabbing the header and moving these where we want them. So there's that one. Here's the customer table I'm going to move up. Let's see, I'm going to make this window a little wider here. And I'm going to put the order line table over here. Excuse me, the orders table here, the order line table here, and the item table over here. Now, they're all a little bit too wide. I think I can make these a bit narrower so I can actually see better the lines that are connecting these 2 tables. So I'm going to do that by clicking on the rep table and making it a little bit narrower. I'll click on the customer table, make it a little bit narrower. Orders table, make it a bit narrower. Same with the order line table. I'll move the item table over and I'll make that a bit narrower. We've said that there's a one-to-many relationship between the rep table and the customer table. And we've said that every table has a primary key and foreign keys. Well, not all of them have foreign keys, but most of them do. Anyway, I think what I typically like to do is I like to point these lines to the columns they're actually referencing. So I move that one down. The primary key in the rep table is rep num, but the foreign key that it relates to in the customer table is rep num, and it's down here. And I would like to have this line point down there. So I'm going to move the cursor just to the right until it becomes a plus sign. And now we can see pretty clearly that the rep num primary key here relates to rep num, which is a foreign key over here. So I'm going to do the same with the customer table. So now it's pretty clear that the customer num primary key is relating to the customer num as a foreign key here. And I'll do this one. We have an order number. And this one relates to order number. And then we have item number. The item number is the primary key in the item table, but it's a foreign key It's a foreign key in the order line table. So this particular table is the one that kind of throws some new students off about how many relationships work. What we have here is a primary key that relates to a foreign key value over here, and a primary key that relates to a foreign key value over here. We see two key fields in the order line table, and I said in an earlier video that does not mean that there are two primary keys. A table can only have one primary key. But what this single primary key is in the order line table is made up of two columns or fields put together. So the combination of the order number and the item number is unique and therefore can be a primary key. And if you examine the script, the Cal database script, if you go towards the end, you'll see an SQL command that defines how you define compound keys and how you define the relationships between the tables. But I'm going to show you that in a lot more detail in the coming up videos. But that's all we need to know for now. It's probably a good idea to print this thing, because I think it's a good reference. So I'm going to save it. And it's called diagram 0. I guess that's okay for now. And I can close that. And I can close SQL Server and stop my share and stop.